Let's take a walkthrough of ELA sections of the CCRS Blue Book. You'll want to mark these pages with a post-it note because these are likely to be sections that you'll go back to multiple times as you work on implementing the ELA standards into your instruction. First, on page 9, we have the section that talks about the ELA shifts and key features of the ELA standards. You'll find details on the 3 ELA shifts of complexity, evidence, and knowledge, and you'll also find a description of how the ELA standards are organized, including the 4 strands and information on the letter and number coding that follows each standard. Next, mark page 13. This is the beginning of the reading standards. The 10 reading anchors are included here, including Anchor 10, a chart that defines the range and complexity of what students need to read. On page 22 is the beginning of the writing standards. There are 9 writing standards, and a key thread of the writing standards is writing arguments and informative and explanatory texts. On page 29, you'll find the beginning of the speaking and listening standards. These standards develop oral communication and interpersonal skills that are important to college, the workplace, and life. On page 33, we find the beginning of the 6 language standards, and these language standards include language conventions and a focus on understanding and acquiring new vocabulary. Finally, on page 40, you will find the reading standards foundational skills K through 5. These standards focus on phonemic awareness, phonics and word recognition, and fluency. A couple notes about how the reading standards foundational skills K5 fit in with the other standards. First, you'll notice that Reading Foundation 1 is a standard that's not included in the Blue Book, but in Minnesota we include it because we engage with many learners who need to begin with understanding concepts of print. The second note is that these reading standard foundational skills K5 work in tandem with the other ELA strands. They are not meant to be mastered before students work on other ELA standards. So students will be working on phonics and word recognition and fluency, but at the same time, they can be doing work at the low levels of the reading, writing, speaking and listening, and language standards. Now, you're going to move on and see how the math sections of the CCRS Blue Book are organized.